Hello, my name is Masha and welcome to another Not With Me video. This video is not a tutorial, it's just a video in which I made a bracelet, or a wall hanging in this case, and I recorded the process and made it into a time lapse. I really enjoy these videos. It's like an opportunity for us to catch up, and I like to imagine that you guys are also working on a bracelet of some kind, or maybe a different crafty project. And I feel like we actually do have quite a lot to catch up on. I haven't actually posted a video in quite a while. It's been a weird few months. It really has been. But you might have seen that I had a really exciting announcement that I shared, that I have written another book. I have a second book coming out. It's called The Art of Friendship Bracelets. It comes out on June 23rd in the US and July 23rd everywhere else in the world, and it's available for pre-order now. You can pre-order it anyway, typically buy books. There is also a direct link in the description. It's going to be available in print and also as an ebook. And if you pre-order it now, there will be a giveaway that I am working on finishing up currently. I will be announcing the details of that very, very soon, but make sure to save confirmation of your pre-order and then you'll be able to enter once I finally announce how to do that. But yeah, it's been a fairly chaotic couple of months, really. I think I shared a little bit about this in a previous video, but all of this kind of coincided. Me writing the book coincided with me switching jobs, getting a new job. My sister came to live with me, and it's just been fairly chaotic. And the new job that I have now, which is really exciting, and I'm loving it. I've been there for a solid, like 6-7 months now. I can't believe I just said that. Let's pretend I did not. We're gonna gloss over that. Anyway, it's been quite some time now that I've been at this job, right? And I've really been enjoying it, but obviously because I have to go to the office a lot more often, I go 3 days a week, it is eating up a lot of that time that I had for my extracurricular activities, such as bracelets and making videos, but I feel like I am much more in a rhythm now, in a groove, both at work and also just in my daily life, that I'm hoping to return. And I actually have quite a lot of footage pre-filmed, so one of which is actually this one. I think I made this bracelet probably like 3 months ago, and I'm only just sitting down to record a voiceover because I just haven't had a solid chunk of time to do it. But it has been amazing. It has been really, really fun. The book is now finished. We're in the process of kind of finalizing everything. I actually just received my copy, my first copy. I'm due to receive another batch of them. Last time I got, I think, 20 copies or something like that. I'm expecting something similar this time that I end up giving around to friends and family, which is really fun and exciting. I think we did a giveaway last time as well, so maybe do something like that this time. Well, we shall see. But yeah, I'm expecting that, and I got to see it for the first time. I'm going to be posting a video of that really soon as well because I filmed it, and it's really exciting. It's always really exciting to see the product that you worked on for so long in real life as an actual thing. Like, the book existed as a document on my computer for months, probably close to like a year, really, before it ever became anything. So it's just, it's a surreal feeling to actually see everything that I worked on, all the text, and there's hundreds and hundreds of photos in there as well, come together in this actual physical thing. So that's been really exciting. And yeah, it's just, I've been trying to make use of that time that I was saying, right? Like, because I work from the office more nowadays. Mind you, I used to work 5 days a week from the office, so it's not like I still have 2 days working from home. So it's not completely, it's not completely back to the office. It's just my first job was 5 days a week in the office. My second job was fully remote, and this is now my third job. And I say third job, I mean like in this industry. I've obviously worked like customer service jobs and waitressing, etc. before that, but within the industry that I'm in now, this is my third job, and I went from, being fully remote to now having to go in 3 times a day, which I've weirdly been enjoying. I thought I would hate it, but I don't. It's actually quite nice. So yeah, I've been trying to use the time that I have kind of on my commute to and from the office, which takes about, I would say, 40-ish minutes door to door, by which I mean like it's a 10-minute walk to a train station-ish. And then I sit on the train for like 20 minutes, and then I have another 10-minute walk from the station. So I try to make use of those 20 minutes on the train by like reading books. And I got a new Switch, which is really exciting. I got a Switch 2 for my birthday as a gift, which I'm really grateful for. And I got Pacopia for my birthday as well as a gift, which is a game on the Switch, if you didn't know. It's a Pokemon game in which you have this kind of post-apocalyptic world that you are trying to restore and make all of these Pokemon happy to live in. Which I've been obsessed with the game. I actually customized my Switch to it has a case with all of the different Pokemon on it, and that's really cute. And the joysticks, I put little covers on it to look like the main character Pokemon. And then I also customized the dock to have Pokemon on it. Mind you, I don't even like Pokemon. Like it was never a thing for me when I was growing up. My parents didn't like it for some reason and wouldn't let me watch the TV show or engage with any kind of media, which... okay. Anyway, so it wasn't really part of my childhood, and I can't say that I was ever really interested in it as an adult. Like, it looked fun from the outside, and Pokemon Go, when that came out, was an interesting thing, but I never really got into it. And then Pacopia came out, and it looked like something I would enjoy so much. And so I'm actually very grateful, that I ended up getting it as a gift for my birthday, because I've put in a ridiculous amount of hours into it. And yeah, I've just been working on making my Pokemon really happy. So I've been doing that on the train, occasionally on my lunch break as well, a little bit. And maybe sometimes, when I get home, I play that to unwind. I've also been playing Tomodachi Life, actually. And Breath of the Wild. I've also never played that for whatever reason. My friends were always really into Zelda, and Zelda was also never really a part of my childhood. But I've been playing Breath of the Wild quite a bit as well, and I've been enjoying it. It's just, I feel like my routines have shifted. I haven't actually been making bracelets as much recently as I have been investing my time in other sorts of hobbies. Journaling has been a big one, which, actually there's a little bit of a story to tell there. I had a really difficult time at one point. So I was traveling on a train, and I think what made this situation different from any other times I've traveled on a train is that I was traveling with my sister, and usually it's I was thrown off my routine, right? Whenever you get thrown off your routines, that's where things happen. And typically when I travel on a train, I sit by myself and I have my stuff next to me and I just vibe. But because I was traveling with my sister, I put my backpack up above me onto that little kind of place where you can put your stuff up. And I am in a very good habit of, whenever I leave the train or any kind of public transport, or really any place that I was sitting for a little bit, I always look back. Like, it has been ingrained in me since childhood. You can see where the story's going, but it has been ingrained in me since childhood. It is a reflex. When I get up to leave, I check, I look back. But I've never in my life, this was the first time I have ever put something up. I've never put anything up before. So I looked back, didn't see anything on the seats. I did not look up because I never put anything up. And obviously I left my backpack on the train, which was heartbreaking because not only did it have my work laptop in there, which was not a fun conversation to have with my employer. It went fine, by the way. Like, it's insured, so it was all right. They were very nice about it, but just it's not a pleasant conversation to have regardless. Not only did it have that, it also had a small bottle of perfume that I got for as a gift for someone that I had just literally bought like an hour before that. But whatever, that's a material thing. It's lost money. I can replace that. It stings, but it's money. It's not. My journals were in there. All of my journals were in there, and I have a lot of journals. And that is the part that stung the most because, again, like, material things can be replaced. It stings. It's a financial hit, but they can be replaced. And in the case of the laptop, for example, it was insured, right? You cannot replace memories and knowledge. And that was just heartbreaking. It had one of my journals that I write in daily, and it had like pictures in it that were pasted in and sort of bits and pieces from my day. And it was devastating. I cried. I actually had like a proper proper grieving period for several days. Obviously, I reported it straight away to all the different transport companies. And what was supposed to happen in an ideal scenario is the train should have reached its final destination, which isn't even that far. I live in London. The train was heading to Brighton, right? So it's not even that far. It should have reached Brighton. Someone at that station should have taken it off the train, put it in Lost and Found. This was towards the end of the day. It was around 10 p.m. when this happened. Obviously, the station was closed, so I contacted them first thing when they opened the next morning, and they said it wasn't there. In which case, you know, if it didn't make it to the last station, it means someone probably took it off the train before it reached the station, in which case I can't, there's nothing you can do. And so I ended up contacting all of the transport company. I submitted like a bunch of different claims, basically, and inquiries, and they told me that if we don't contact you within 2 weeks, then that means we haven't found it. I was very hopeful for the first couple of days, but then as the days kept on rolling by, 2 weeks went by, and nobody contacted me. But then another 2 weeks go by, and 4 weeks later, I get a call that someone has found my backpack. And I truly did not believe it until I actually went to the station at which it was supposedly located in the Lost and Found. And I went there and they actually handed me my backpack. It was surreal. I pretty much started tearing up at the station again. I was on my way home and I was looking through my journals that I thought I had lost forever and just reliving those memories. And it was such an amazing experience. And I feel like just generally that whole thing, it's so stupid, right? Like it's not, I left something on a train, but I think the fact that I was so emotionally attached to these journals, it just, I don't know. I feel like some of you get it, some of you don't. Anyway, I feel like the whole experience kind of changed me in a way because I feel like I was trying to understand what this is meant to teach me, because that is the way that I approach kind of hardships in life. Like when I'm going through something difficult, I try to see some kind of silver lining, some kind of lesson, something that positive that I can come out of this with. And I was like, what is this experience trying to teach me? And I kind of, one of my philosophies in journaling in general has always been, people ask me who I write for, right? Like, why are you writing all of these things? Like I write my day-to-day life. I write I have a separate small journal that I just write random thoughts that I have, like kind of essay style about whatever. It's about whatever. And people ask me like, who are you writing this for? Do you truly imagine that someone is actually gonna go back and read it? And I always say that no, I don't expect anybody to ever read this. I wouldn't mind if they did. It's not the end of the world if they do, but I don't expect anybody to ever read this. I don't care if people do. This is for me. Mind you, I don't even really go back and reread it, other than, I guess, that scenario in which I was on the train trying to relive those memories because I thought I had lost them forever. But I don't really reread my stuff as I write it either. I write it for myself in the moment. The writing process helps me understand my feelings a little bit better. I think there is something about putting pen to paper that actually helps me verbalize my thoughts and think about my feelings in a way that I don't really get to do when I'm just sitting and stewing in them. And so I've always said that, journaling for me is in the moment. And when I lost my journals, I thought about, what is this experience trying to teach me? And it's like, well, it's kind of testing if I was being truthful about that, right? Like, was I actually being truthful when I said that they're for me in the moment and I don't plan on looking back on them? And to a degree, yes, to a degree, it was truthful. I was able to make my peace with the fact that they are gone. There was one journal specifically that I was really sad about losing, that when I said memories and information, one of them contained like notes and stuff from important meetings that I've had and just like a brain dumps and brainstorms about all the different things that I want to do. There was like a list of places I want to visit with my sister while she's in London, etc., etc. So like that was actually quite sad to lose because it had like information that I don't have otherwise. But all of the other ones I was able to kind of make my peace with losing because, they were for me in the moment. And I enjoyed looking back at that memory journal, especially mainly because of the photos, to be honest, than the text. Because like I try to arrange the photos and stuff in a nice, cute way as well. But it was interesting. It was an interesting way to kind of look at, was I being truthful to myself? And also I feel like it was a way to kind of think about, like, I should not be so attached to material things, you know? Like, I don't, I don't even know how to express myself better than just that sentence. Like, I don't think that people should be attached to material things. Myself, okay, I don't think I should be as attached to material things as I am, and as I'm learning that I am, I guess. I didn't think that I was, but when this happened, I got very, very sad, more sad than I expected to. Anyway, it was interesting to live with that for the time that it was away and kind of analyze how this is making me feel. I think also what was difficult is I use my journals as a way to emotionally regulate and to express my feelings and to work through my feelings. And I typically journal at the end of the day as well. And so I like write about what I did throughout the day, etc. And it's just a way for me to wind down and relax a little bit. And I didn't, when this happened and I was experiencing these difficult emotions, I had nowhere to put them and no way to regulate because the way that I regulate is gone. So that was quite difficult as well. But anyway, I'm just really excited that I got them back. I'm really grateful for that because I was not expecting that. But I did, and I'm very grateful that they came back into my life. I was able to continue some of them. The one that had the memories was kind of, I only had like 2 pages left, so that one was pretty much done. I just have it to look back on, I guess. So it's just a nice thing that happened in the end, right? Like I learnt some kind of lesson, I hope. And I feel like my relationship with things generally has changed a bit more. I don't know. I don't even know why I'm telling you this story. I just feel like it actually had such an impact on me. This happened like 2 months ago, by the way. But I feel like it had such an impact on me that I just felt compelled to share. So yeah, it's just, you know, life. It's been fun catching up with you. It genuinely has been fun catching up with you. I, as I said, have a lot of videos pre-filmed that I just never got the chance to actually sit down and edit and look through, but I've dedicated this entire weekend. It is currently, I'm recording this on 9 p.m. on a Friday. I have dedicated the entire weekend ahead to just making videos out of the videos that I already have. So you will be getting more content very soon. And this wall hanging that I made with the little cat in the grassy meadow, I really like it. I think it turned out really, really cute. It was really fun to make. I made it kind of in this period when I wasn't really posting videos. I wasn't really filming videos either. I made it just for myself and I thought, you know what? I might as well film it. I might as well film it. I might end up posting a video eventually at some point. And it was really nice to do that. So I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, as I said, my book is coming out very soon. So make sure to pre-order that if you want to enter the giveaway really soon as well. Save confirmation of your pre-order. There's a link in the description and you can also get it anyway, typically buy books. I will share more about the book as well, about like what is in it, etc. As time goes on. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Special shout out to my channel members as well. I really appreciate you supporting the channel, even at the times when I'm not posting as actively. I appreciate your support. If you also want to become a member and get access to some exclusive content that I have on the channel and I'm going to be continuing to post, then you can click the join button if you'd like to. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and my little moralizing session, I guess. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.